All right, today's video, I want to talk about timelines. There's an icon here called Timeline View Options. If you click on that, you can choose Display Stacked Timelines. Normally it looks like this, and you have a single timeline. So let's go ahead and activate that. And you'll get these little tabs here and this little arrow. So if you have more timelines in your project, this is how you can bounce back and forth between them. So if I go over to this 30 frame project, you can see it's got no media on it. You can have different video and audio configurations and frame rates, stuff like that. Now, one thing I like to do is do string outs. So let's say we're working on this 2398 timeline and we have our Fusion comp. We can click this little plus here and select another timeline with this drop down menu. So let's say we go 30 frame and we'll add this clip to it. So if you have mixed frame rates, or I like to use it for say drone footage or A cam, B cam, that kind of thing. So then I could work off this timeline, click over here and keep editing on say this timeline, but that's not actually stacked timeline. So let's click this 30 frame off. Stack timelines, once you have it enabled right here, if we go over here by the mixer, you got this film strip or timeline looking box with a plus on it. Let's click that. Now you can see we have a timeline down here and a timeline up here. So now if we select a timeline like the 30 frame that we put the clip on, we could have it stacked right below. And the cool thing is you could work down here, copy this, maybe make an in and an out here, copy it, and then come to here and paste it right in. So that's one way to work. That's pretty cool. And then if you need to get rid of this, you can just hit this little X right here. Now there's another way to use timelines with your source viewer here. If you have a timeline built out, so let's go ahead and go back to our 30 frame, you can actually open this timeline here. What if you want to find your timelines in your session? You can right click the timeline and say, find timeline in media pool. We have one here. Here's another one, but there's a better way to keep these organized. If you click on your three dot menu in your media pool here, you can choose Show Smart Bins. Down in the Smart Bins, we can tell it to organize by timeline. This is under DaVinci Resolve right here, under Preferences. If we go under User, Editing, we have this checkbox here for Smart Bin for timelines. Check that, hit Save. And right under here now, we have timelines. If we click on it, this is all the timelines in our session. So we don't even have to go looking for them anymore. Now, if you want to see it as a source viewer, which is kind of cool, normally if you're working with clips here, you could dump it in your source viewer, make an in and out, and then drop it into your timeline. But you can do that with the timeline itself. So we're on the 2398 timeline here. Let's open this 2997. We'll right click it. And you have this option, Open in Timeline with Source Viewer. You can see our playhead turns blue and it occupies our source viewer. We get a little blue indicator up here for timeline and the name of the timeline here in blue also. And you can switch in between these and you'll have this blue playhead. So if you have a timeline of string outs or whatever kind of camera footage, you can do the same thing here. If we go to this Batman clip, in and out, choose that, copy. We can go back to our timeline. It turns red. This is like our active timeline here in our preview monitor. Put that clip in there. And then we could bounce back again over to here. And if you need to get back, you can just click back right here to source tape. And that'll just show you whatever clip you have in the timeline here. And that's it. A few different ways to organize your timelines and work back and forth between the two with your stack timelines. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.